The three reasons why I think Canelo will not fight David Benavidez. The first one being David Benavidez brings nothing to the table. The second one is a clear duck. Canelo wants nothing to do with David Benavidez. And the third one is payday. Payday. Canelo wants a payday from the Saudis to make that fight happen. I go into more details on why I think Canelo will not fight David Benavidez, so let's get right into it. Hey guys, welcome to the False Nine Podcast here with your host Alvaro. This is episode 202. It feels so good to say 202 or 201 because I know that it's actually 200 episodes. So it feels nice. Thank you guys, everyone, for the support, love, everything. Everyone who's watched a clip this week or this past week, I could say, a clip, whatever. If you encountered the False Nine Podcast, I appreciate you guys. I love you and just keep supporting me. I just post a lot of stuff. I don't really engage too much. I just post a lot. I will say that. But guys, the reason why I do that is I like making this content. It consumes a lot of me. It takes a lot of time, a lot of energy. And by the time I'm done posting or done for the day, like I'm drained. So to get back with you guys or look at some comments, like it's just tough. It's just tough. But like I said, if you guys reply to a YouTube video, that's where you'll get my most engagement from. So if you want to chat it up with me or say anything or comment about anything, just comment on the YouTube video and I promise I'll reply to you there. But I just want to put that out there. So like you guys see in the title, the intro, 3 reasons why I think Canelo's not fighting David Benavidez. I really thought about this a lot the last week. I know I posted some clips and things like that. And I had a small section, I think on the last episode, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. But you know, Canelo comes out with his $200 million request to fight David Benavidez, and you know, I thought it was pretty crazy, to be honest with you. And before I get into my 3 reasons, I want to give you guys how I feel about it, like in a longer format. You know, I know clips don't really do too much justice, but you know, when I hear that from someone like Canelo, that, you know, to hear Canelo say $200 million and I'll fight tomorrow, you know, he brings nothing to the table. And this is a Canelo that I've been watching, I mean, a little bit before the Mayweather fight. Like, I've been watching Canelo. He's been hyped for a long time. He's been a professional since 16 years old. I mean, he's an amazing boxer and has achieved a lot, you know, and I give that to Canelo. And I'm like a Canelo meat writer, and like people give me shit all the time. Like, bro, Canelo all day. Like, I'm just keeping it a buck with you guys. But to hear that from somebody that I look at or I have these thoughts about, like, this guy's a beast, and he says, I need $200 million to fight this guy. I'm just like, what the fuck? Why do you need $200 million to make a good fight in boxing that people want? I've been to a Canelo fight. I've bought pay-per-view fights from Canelo, like, or to watch Canelo fight. I mean, I've supported this guy the best way I can. Obviously, he doesn't owe me shit, right? He don't need to do anything. What he does in the ring is more than enough for us as you could say, as fans. Like, he goes in there and does his thing. We appreciate that. Like, that's how he repays us back, right? But I would think, you know, the only reason why Canelo is so relevant, yes, is his boxing. But, you know, it could be 90% boxing and 10% the fans. You know, how many good fighters do we know? Not just in boxing, but in MMA, women's, men's, like all this stuff that are really, really good. But they can't sell tickets. They can't sell out arenas. They can't, you know, they don't have that gravity. And Canelo does. You know, the Mexican people are very supportive people, and we stand behind our people and very, very strong. That's just what we do. And I just would think that Canelo, like, okay, Mexican people have been supporting me for a long fucking time. They've been asking for this fight. They asked for the Triple G fight. I gave it to them, and now they're asking for this fight. Let me fucking give them this fight too, man. That's why I like Canelo. Because he took the Triple G. Like, when he took those fights, I was like, let's fucking go. Even though he lost the first one, and I know it's a tie, I think Canelo lost that first fight. But I don't care. But the fact that he made that shit happen, and like, you know, it happened, and I was happy to see it. And they ran it back the second time. He bounced back, and he won. And I was like, fuck yeah. You know? Like, that's what's up. And I just feel like Canelo, you know, a little bit love toward his fans, and to say, like, oh, you know what, guys? Like, fuck it. You guys want this fight. I'll give you guys one more banger before I walk away from the sport. And here it is. And it's going to be against David Benavidez. That's what I would expect. So to hear $200 million, I'm like, bro, how much more do you want? You have everything. Everything. The fans, the cars, the house, you got the fam. Like, you have achieved so much, bro. So when he says $200 million, I'm just like, okay, he's saying an outrageous price because he's fucking like scared or he's worried about something. You know, like he's like, I don't know if he thinks that if my legacy's on the line, I need $200 million. If people are, people are going to remember Canelo like towards the end. That's just how it is, right? In mega fights like the GG fight or the Mayweather fight. But, people are going to remember that last fight or the last few fights that you had. And especially if you lost, everyone's going to remember the Bivol fight. We all going to remember that shit. And if he loses again, we all might say, oh, Canelo towards the end lost. But the reality is he fought bigger guys. And if he fought David Benavidez is a bigger guy, bro. It's just how it is. So when he says $200 million, I'm like, fuck, man. This guy's like, he doesn't want to fight Bivol for the love for the fans and the love for the sport. If he ever gets to fight, not Bivol, Benavidez, he's not doing it for the love of the game or for the love to his fans or because he wants to test himself in a competitive way. He's fighting Benavidez because he's finna get a bag and, like, I don't know, man. It just seems weird. I find it a little shitty, but I understand. Like, I understand Canelo's perspective. I don't know if Canelo's like, if you guys want me to put my legacy on the line and you guys are going to remember these two losses, if I lose to Benavidez, I'm going to need $200 million. And that's kind of shitty, but also understandable for Canelo. I get it, bro. I understand. Like, I get it. But, that's just how I feel about it. And I'm curious to know, we got more to talk about, but I'm curious to know how, if you guys are fans, Mexican fans, and how long you've been supporting Canelo, like, how did that make you feel? And at the end of this episode, I'm going to talk to people who backed up Canelo, and you guys are delusional. But I'll get to that towards the end of the episode. So anyways, the first reason, brings nothing to the table. Okay, David Benavidez doesn't have the most pay-per-view buys. This guy just started, I think his first pay-per-view fight was against Caleb Plant, if I'm not mistaken, his main event. That was his first one. Understandable. Doesn't bring pay-per-view vibes. But I can't tell you something, Canelo. If you make this fight with Benavidez, he brings pay-per-view vibes to the table. Plain and simple. Right? David Benavidez, 28 wins, 24 knockouts, 85% rate, knockout rate, you could say, 27 years of age. That's David Benavidez. David Benavidez beat some guy named David Limox. And I'll get to you guys to this in a second. By TKO. And that guy's record is insane, by the way. Don't know too much about him, but did a little bit of research. Right? So David Limox, don't know how to say the last name. He lost to Triple G and to Billy Joe Sanders. Canelo fought Triple G and Billy Joe Sanders. You know who also beat this guy, David Limox? David Benavidez by TKO. And you know who Canelo's not fighting? David Benavidez. So brings nothing to the table, right? This is the first reason. So he fought Triple G and Billy Joe Sanders, who also beat this David guy, David Limox. David Benavidez also beat David Limox, but Canelo doesn't want that smoke. Okay, brings nothing to the table, right? So then, and that was in May 21st, 2022. March 25th, 2023, we all know the fight with Caleb Plant. Canelo had a fight with Caleb Plant. He looked good, looked threatful. Canelo was just too good. Beat him. David Benavidez wasn't able to knock him out, which that's why I was like, Canelo should be able to have some advantage. I mean, David Benavidez being the bigger guy, he couldn't put out the smaller guy, and Canelo did. So, you know what I'm saying? So for me, once that happened, I was like, okay, Canelo beats Benavidez. And I still think that. So David Benavidez fights Caleb Plant as well and beats the shit out of him. I don't understand how Caleb Plant stood in there and took that beating, man. So, okay, David Benavidez beat Caleb Plant, has also beat this guy, David Limox, who had a history with GG and Billy Joe Sanders. Caleb Plant has also fought Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Like, there is connections to fighters that David Benavidez has fought or dealt with that so has Canelo, right? So that's where I'm getting to. Brings nothing to the table. That's, you know what I mean? All right. November 25th, 2023, he fights undefeated Demetrius Andrade, who, this fight was awesome. Andrade's undefeated. No one's really wanted to fight him, like really good fighters. People say, A lot of people kind of avoided Demetrius Andre. And Andre not being the biggest pull, he's not the biggest pull in boxing. He doesn't sell the most paper. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's who he is, right? It's what it is. But David Benavidez goes on, takes a fight. It's a good test. And we're all like, okay, like, you talking all that crap about Canelo. Let's see how he does against Andre. Andre's he's a good boxer. And then David Benavidez goes in there and drops him in third and finishes him in the 6th. Undefeated fighter, bro. Just runs right through him. And at this point, you're like, okay, this guy's a real deal. He needs to fight Canelo. It needs to happen now. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm feeling after that. And I go back to the thing, man. I get it, David Benavidez is not the hottest. He doesn't sell the most pay-per-view. He just started doing pay-per-views like 2 fights ago. Against Andre, I believe that was his second main pay-per-view event. Right? The resume, okay, Jaime Munguia has a decent resume as well. Really, really good resume. Better than Benavidez, if I could say. But, let me see. But when you think about David Benavidez and Saul Canelo Alvarez, and to think that brings nothing to the table is crazy. It's hype. Good shit talking, good exchanges, like before the fight. And people will talk about this fight till it happens. YouTube videos, TikToks, everything, man. Everybody's going to be talking about this fight. It'll be Canelo's highest paid day. No question. No question, bro. His highest payday. More than the Mayweather, more than fucking Triple G. Like, people want this fight. And Canelo might know this. And it can go to my third reason. This could be a marketing strategy. I don't know. But another thing that I think about when I think about Canelo's career and what he's achieved, if we're being really, 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 really honest here, very honest, Canelo hasn't had very hard fights against very big names. If you talk about who has Canelo beat that you're like, oh shit. And there's a lot of fighters that he has beaten that are, world champions and really, really, really good. But I'm talking about at the highest level, like mega fight. Mayweather, like elite level, right? He's beat Triple G, arguably lost to him. He's had the fight with Mayweather, and he lost to Mayweather. But not to say that Canelo has had easy fights, but he hasn't had the most competitive opponents, you could say. And some of them had certain standards. I believe the Kovalov fight, against that guy. When he fought him, that guy just got done with the fucking war literally 2-3 months ago, and he put a rehydration clause on that guy. Canelo did. And it's just like Canelo, I'm not taking anything away from Canelo, but what I'm saying is I want to see somebody at this level get tested. I want to see Canelo, 33 years of age, fighting at the highest level, get tested. I want to see him prove to us, give me the name, give me the hottest guy on the block, and I will show you guys why I am the greatest of all time. That's what I want to see from Canelo. That's it, and that's why it makes me fucking upset that he says $200 million brings nothing to the table. I'm like, are you crazy, Canelo? Like, come on. And Canelo has fought some questionable guys. I'm going to talk about this, man. What is John Ryder, Billy Joe Saunders, and then this guy, Avini Yildirim. He fought that guy during COVID. I don't know if you remember at the Hard Rock Stadium. He gave up like in the 4th or the 5th round. I don't know if you guys remember that. But what do those guys bring to the table that David Benavidez doesn't? Like, that's what I want to know. And these fights were recent, like in the last 4 years, 3-4 years. You know what I mean? So I don't understand. I don't understand. I really don't. But, all right. I want to say that is my first reason. you know. All right. The second reason, a clear duck. Let's see. This is what I think is why he's not fighting Benavidez. Just clearly ducking him. And wants nothing to do with him. Towards the end of his career, I think, Canelo's young. He's 33, but I feel like the signs are there that he's towards the end of his career. He's doing a lot of stuff outside the ring. He has businesses, playing golf and charity tournaments, golf. He has his drink. He has a gas stations, alcohol drink, and the gas stations, things like that. He has a little convenience store. He has a lot of stuff going on outside the octagon. And he's enjoying the celebrity lifestyle, you could say. And I don't fucking blame him. I don't blame him for that. So you think about that. He has 60 wins, 2 draws, 2 losses, 39 knockouts, has beaten all types of fighters. He lost to Bivol and he lost to Mayweather. It's 2 losses. He tied with Triple G, and I don't know who the other tie is, but I think he lost the first fight as well to Triple G. So I like to say Triple G, Bivol, and Mayweather have got the best of Canelo, which is fine. I don't think it takes anything away from Canelo at all. But let's look at his recent fights, right? Where Canelo's at with everything he's accomplished. He recently fought. Who was the last guy he fucking fought, man? I don't even know who it was. I don't know if it was John Ryder. I feel like I'm missing a name. Hold up. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Canelo last fight. I'm gonna get a lot of shit for this. Oh, he fought Charlo last. Wow. It's crazy. All right, so he fought Charlo last. That's it. And this is what I'm saying. I don't fucking remember these names. Like, and that just goes to show you, like, who did Canelo fight last? I don't even know. Because the guys ain't all that. He fought, right, Jermell Charlo. I mean, he's not that. I don't think he's that good. A lot of people were behind him, but I don't think he's that guy. He fought John Ryder. John Ryder fought with his fucking heart out in Guadalajara, but Canelo should have put him out, and he didn't. I was disappointed. To me, that was an L performance because John Ryder was having a little bit of success towards those deep rounds. Then he fought an old Gennady Golovkin. That's when he had that loss against Bivol. And the last fight where I think he looked at his best was against Caleb Plant. That was the last fight that I think Canelo had that was really, really good, honestly. And the Charlo one as well. He looked really nice against Charlo. Old Triple G, you try to go up and fight a Bivol and you completely underestimate him. You fought John Ryder and Charlo. Like, they're not competitive guys like that. Like, if you put Charlo and Caleb Plant, they probably go 12 rounds. You put Charlo and Ryder, they probably go 12 rounds. Like, and I don't know, man. Like, when you look at those fights, I was like, obviously, the harder opponent's David Benavidez. David Benavidez should beat most of those guys. So, okay. Let me see. Damn, hold up. Canelo. So, Canelo, like, having those fights, everything he's doing outside the ring, like I said, golf, his alcohol drink, convenience stores, or gasoline stores, something like that, right? Having those opponents, he has a lot of shit going on. And you got this guy, David Benavidez, hot, young, hungry. He wants a payday. He wants to make some noise. Very understandable. And he's trying to get some of your cheese. He's trying to take some of your thunder. And I don't know if Canelo's worried about something. I don't know if Canelo's scared. I don't know if Canelo, if his ego is not going to be able to handle if he loses this fight. And I don't understand. I don't understand what other reason than he just doesn't want to fight David Benavidez. Like, it's that plain and simple. He just doesn't want to fight him. And we got to put ourselves in Canelo's shoes real quick. Canelo's made a lot of money, has a family, has cars, has houses. I'm sure his parents and family is taken care of, brothers, everything. plays fucking golf for fun, has businesses. I mean, this dude has a Bugatti that's crazy rare and is nice. Like, and he has to fight fucking a killer, you know, and that's why I go, like, you know, Canelo's, I think, at a point in his career where, like, he's just done going through that shit, like that hard grind. Like, it's hard for me to see Canelo. I can see it, but I find it hard, like, to see Canelo prep for, like, having a camp for David Benavidez. You know how crazy that camp has to be? Like, it has to be wild, and it's like, you got to ask this 33-year-old rich motherfucker to go and camp. It's like asking Conor to fight as well. It's like almost the same situation now. And it's just like, Canelo, would he rather have a chill, good competitive camp, you know, but not the hardest, not the one that takes the most toll on your body, not the one that's going to put you through some injuries. You might get, you know, beat up a little bit, and then on fight night, you got to fight this crazy guy who wants to take everything away from you. But if you fight Jaime Munguia, camp's chill. You can still focus on your businesses. You can still focus on playing golf, have fun, have a good time, be out seen, chilling with the celebrities. And if I get it. Like, Canelo's probably like, I'd rather fucking take the fight with Jaime. I get to make shit ton of money, and I get to do everything else. You know, we gotta also think about it like in that perspective, and I see it, and that's why I understand. But, you know, as a fan, I'm just frustrated. So that's why I think, to me, it's just a clear duck for Canelo, and I think he's just doesn't want anything to do with that. And you know, and if it's not a clear duck, then it's just a nice marketing strategy, you know, to do. Ask for 200 mil, and maybe somebody will give you 100, and now we have a fight. I don't know. I don't know if Canelo's has a marketing plan here, or he's just trying to avoid the fight. I don't know. But if it's a marketing plan, it's nice. You know, I know David Benavidez he made a post and asked somebody from Saudi, and supposedly that person responded how he needs to fight the winner of Bivol and Better Beef. And I'm going to transition to the end. Oh, no, I'm not going to transition to the end. My bad. But, fuck, I lost my train of thought. But he asked them to make that fight, and that guy, I think, responded with, like, David Benavidez should fight the winner of Bivol or Better Beef. And I think that's fair. And Benavidez has said that he will do that. So I think it's crazy about the pushback, and people be like, you got to fight one of those guys now. That's like, bro, come on, relax. But anyways, that's the second reason. Clear duck. Wants nothing to do with David Benavidez. Boom, plain and simple. All right, so now we have our last reason. Payday. Canelo wants a payday. Canelo wants $200 million from the Saudis. I don't think this is the reason why Canelo's not fighting David Benavidez. Like I said, I think he's just stalking him. But I do think it's a possibility that Canelo wants a huge payday before he walks away in the sunset. It makes perfect sense. And I'm going to, break it down. So, we've had Ngannou versus Fury in Saudi. It was a big fight. They made millions of dollars. And then we had Francis Ngannou and Anthony Joshua. They made millions of dollars. And then I believe we have Tyson Fury against Alexander Usyk more in April or May, somewhere around there, right? We have that coming up, and that's also in Saudi, and they're going to make even more money. So I don't know if Canelo's a bit maybe jealous, like, oh shit, these guys are making crazy money. Like, I want some of that. And it's ironic, because we all know the meme that Canelo goes, payday, you want payday. And now Canelo's the one asking for money. $200 million to fight David Benavidez. And I think it's ironic, and I think it's funny that's that's what's happening. But and then I get why Canelo wants $200 million. I can see the outrageous asking price. It's a big fight. It'll sell you a lot of money. I mean, it'll sell you a lot of pay-per-views, a lot of people. It makes sense. 200 million. I can see that. It's a crazy price tag, but I can see why he wants that much. He said, I'm the biggest star in boxing. Like, fuck it. But I'm like, if Canelo gets 100 mil, I think he'll be happy. So I think that's what he's trying to do. Like I said, it could be part of a big marketing strategy plan thing. But I mean, it's just a possibility. Like I said, I doubt it. This one's just like a far-fetched theory that I have that Canelo like is asking the Saudis to take the fight. And that's what he wants. But I don't think this is it. Like I said a second ago, David Benavidez asked those guys to make that fight happen, and they kind of not necessarily shut it down, but they brought up Beterbiev and Bivol. And if Canelo does want the Saudis to make this fight happen, I don't know why he just doesn't say that. I don't know if he's too embarrassed. I don't know, right? I don't know. So I'm just like, bro, just fucking reach out to him and let him know. Like, start negotiating some shit. Figure it out. Make this fight happen. So that's really my last reason. Like I said, not really thinking that, but like I said, I could see it, being part of a really good marketing strategy. I could see the Canelo team contacting Benavidez team and was like, hey, let's figure this shit out. Let's make it the fight in Saudi. Let's start negotiating with them. Let's start reaching out to them. I don't know, right? I don't know, but I could see it happen. It's a possibility. But again, just that price tag, it's outrageous. And so, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much my 3 reasons. And I conclude with this on my 3 reasons is just like very, like I said earlier, like just very upsetting as a fan. Like, I want to see Canelo fight at the highest level, and I want to see him prove to everybody that he's the best. Like, I want to brag about Canelo. And I'm like, yeah, like, remember when you guys were talking all that shit about Benavidez and he fought him and beat his ass and knocked him out? Like, that's how I want to feel as a fan. And be able to talk my shit and back up Canelo, like in this episode or in real life conversation. So it's tough, man. It sucks. And I haven't lost hope completely. I'm losing hope. I find it hard to see this fight happen. But, we have Jaime Munguia and Canelo in May. And just depending after that, we'll see what happens. And I hope David Benavidez takes a fight as well. Fuck it. Fight, sell money, sell pay-per-views, make shit to the money. And just try and just keep chasing your legacy and also try and chase that fight as well with Canelo. All right, the last thing I want to clear up here is people backing up Canelo making these statements. I think I'm laughing because this shit's stupid. People are like defending Canelo on that David Benavidez brings nothing to the table. And I'm like, what are you guys saying, bro? You know how stupid that sounds? Like, I don't know. And it's like, okay, look at the resume. Okay, fine. The resume, I get it. David Benavidez doesn't have the most impressive resume. But you think Billy Joe Saunders, John Ryder, of that Avini guy that I told you about and that he fought in Miami that fucking quit, you think those guys have a better resume? All right. That's just my counter argument. Then you have the pay-per-view situation. Oh, he hasn't sold pay-per-views. And I will say, against Andrade, that was his second pay-per-view main event. But you're telling me if the fight against Benavidez and Canelo won't be the highest pay-per-view for Canelo? Because it will be if that fight happens. It will beat the Mayweather pay-per-view buys. There's no question, bro. There's no question. People want this fight. And you're telling me that, oh, well, David Benavidez has only had 2 pay-per-view events, and this is going to be his 3rd one. He brings that to the table. Hey, fam. If that fight happens, Canelo Benavidez, that will be the highest pay-per-view buys for Canelo. And it'll probably break some record. There's no question. So I go to the thing that people defend Canelo. I'm like, you guys are delusional. Delulu, like we like to say. It's kind of crazy. And yeah, I mean, I see it on Twitter, man. And like I said, I don't know if people are chasing clicks, views, things like that, or headlines. I don't know. But I'm like, okay, like, it doesn't have the resume, but he'll give Canelo a run for his money. Doesn't have the pay-per-view buys, but it will break a fucking record, and it'll be Canelo's highest pay-per-view buys, right? And he brings nothing to the table. It's just like people are delusional and people are weird that are defending Canelo. And this is one of the few times where I tell Canelo, like, Canelo's just wrong in this one, right? So, yeah. So, guys, I mean, that's really it for the episode. 3 reasons why I think Canelo, all about Canelo. This shit had me thinking all week last week, so I had to make a video about it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm really curious to know how you guys feel as a Mexican fan, a Canelo fan, or just like on the outside, not even a fan. I'm curious to know what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comments below. I'll get right with you. I'll get with you, and I hope you guys have a great week. Enjoy the week. Fuck, I don't know what I was going to say. Just have a good week, man. Enjoy the week, and I appreciate you for listening if you made it this far. Peace.